Valentine's Day na celebration na naman ng mga magkasintahan. At para sa mga may jowa dyan, congratulations. Sana magtagal pa kayo. Kailan kaya ako makaka-relate, ano? At gaya nga na nabanggit ko sa aking previous episode, dalawang romance novel ang i-feature ko for this month. Para sa pangalawang romance novel, akin napili ang isang story na may very unique take sa pag-ibig. Dahil hindi lang to umiikot sa mga magsing-irog, kundi pati sa pamilya at iba't ibang anyo ng pagmamahal. Kasi hindi lang naman sa karelasyon natin nararanasan ng love Madalas, nagsisimula ito sa loob ng tahanan. Sa librong Before the Coffee Gets Cold, makikita natin na kung paanong isang tasa ng kape ay nagiging tulay sa second chances at mga pusong punong-puno ng what ifs. Kung may pagkakataon kang bumalik sa nakaraan, babaguhin mo ba ang nangyari? O uunawain mo na lang ito? Ako nga pala ulit si Tessa Saavedra. Samahan niyo ako dito ulit sa isang pahina, isang kwento, isang aral. Ang sarap pala magbasa. Hello po ulit at Happy Valentine's Day. Kung katulad ninyo ako na parang isang dekada ng walang jowa, I feel you. Pero don't be sad, you can still celebrate Valentine's Day kahit na wala kang significant other. Hindi lang naman siya dapat celebration with a significant other You can celebrate it with your family at hindi man sing nakakakilig, at least you're still celebrating it with people you love and who loves you back. Kasi kung tutuusin, ang novel na ito ay hindi lang naman tungkol sa pag-iibigan ng mga magkasintahan or boyfriend and girlfriend. May malalim din itong anggulo sa pagmamahal mula sa pamilya, pero more on that later. At dahil dyan, before we forget, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss out on my latest book review. And if you're listening over at Spotify, please follow my show Ang Sarap Pala Magbasa and help me build a community of bookworms. So to kickstart the show, let's tell something about the author. Toshikazu Kawaguchi was born in Osaka, Japan in 1971. He formerly produced, directed, and wrote for the theatrical group Sonic Snail. As a playwright, his works include Couple, Sunset Song, and Family Time. The novel Before the Coffee Gets Cold is adapted from a 1110 Productions play by Kawaguchi, which won the 10th Suginami Drama Festival Grand Prize. I discovered this book by simply browsing through the internet. I guess the title intrigued me. Gawa ng coffee girly din ako at na-curious ako kung bakit ito yung ginamit na vessel sa time travel instead of yung typical time machine. So that really sparked my curiosity. So next up, the synopsis. Before the Coffee Gets Cold is a Japanese novel set in a small mysterious cafe in Tokyo, where customers are given a rare chance to travel back in time. However, the time travel comes with very strict rules. Number 1, you can only visit the people who have already been inside the cafe. Number 2, you cannot change the present no matter what you do. The future stays the same. Number 3, while back in the past, you must stay in the seat and never move from it. And last but not the least, you must return before the coffee gets cold. So the story is told through 4 interconnected stories, each focusing on a different customer who chooses to go back in time, not to change their fate, but to find closure, understanding, or peace. So basically, the story is divided into 4 parts. So the first story is about the lovers, Fumiko and Goro. Fumiko wants to confront Goro, the boyfriend who suddenly left her, hoping to finally understand why he chose to walk away. The second story is the husband and wife, Fusagi and Kotake. Kotake travels back in time, hoping to read a letter from her husband before Alzheimer's took away his memories and their shared moments. The third story is about the sisters, Hirai and Kumi. Hirai goes back in time, burdened by regret and the words she never got to say to her sister. And the last story is about the mother and child, Kei and Miki. This is the only instance where the character chose to travel to the future para makita niya yung anak niya na hindi niya napalaki. Dahil she died, spoiler alert, dahil namatay siya because of childbirth. For these emotional journeys, the novel explores themes of love, regret, forgiveness, and the importance of the present moment. It gently reminds the readers that while we can't change the past, how we move forward is always within our control. So I'm sure that you're also wondering bakit kape yung napili ng author. Hindi yung typical machine na ginagamit sa mga pangkaraniwang time travel story. And in fact, dahil nga the story is set in Japan, bakit hindi rin siya gumamit ng mga Japanese reference like tea, sake, or sushi even, di ba? Gawa ng nasa Japan naman sila, bakit hindi na lang Japanese reference? So according to my research, coffee represents the fleeting nature of time. Just like a hot cup cools down, moments in life pass and can't be held forever. So, di ba po, ang kape, mas masarap siyang inumin unless it's iced coffee. Pero if it's hot coffee, mas masarap siyang inumin na dahan-dahan, di ba? You have to take your time while drinking it. Yun yung pinaka-essence of drinking coffee. Hindi mo naman talaga siya dapat madaliin. So, parang ganun yung message ng story. We have to take in every moment as much as we can and not think about the future too much. Kumbaga, be present. You have to be in the moment to fully experience it. So next up, my favorite character is Kei. So yung fourth na story. I truly admired how she sacrificed her life for her child, for this truly shows us a mother's love is beyond comparison. So yun nga sinasabi ko, kaya ako finiture tong story na to is because hindi lang siya nakafocus dun sa typical love story between lovers. So marami kasi talagang aspects yung pag-iibigan, hindi lang naman natin siya na-experience sa ating significant other, madalas na-experience natin siya sa ating tahanan. And for this fourth story, gawa ng mas pinili nga ni Kei na i-continue yung pregnancy niya kahit na maselan, kahit na alam niyang mamamatay siya, kasi that's because of her love for her daughter, which she named Miki. So she chose to travel to the future para at least makita man lang niya yung anak niya kung okay ba siya. Talagang natouch ako dun sa story ni Kei. Up next is my favorite quote. Even if the future doesn't change, the heart can. It captures the soul of the book. A reminder that healing doesn't always mean changing what happened, but changing how we carry it. So as part of our healing process, talaga namang hindi na natin mababago yung nangyari. We have to slowly take our time to reflect on it. And as we go along, dahil nga unti-unti natin natututunan kung ano yung naging pagkakamali natin or kung ano yung naituro sa atin nung significant moment na yon, ay dadalhin natin sa ating buhay. And it may not change what has happened in the past or the pain that we're feeling, at least for sure natuto naman tayo dun sa moment na yon. So for that, my word of the day is time travel. So in science fiction, it is the action of traveling through time into the past or the future. So what I liked about the book, this is my first time to encounter a time travel story that doesn't involve a machine. Also, I like the concept of being able to travel back to a significant time in your life to see if you can do something to change your future. Some of us actually do wish that na sana balikan natin yung significant moment na yon, kasi may mga pagkakataon kasi na hindi natin talaga lubos-lubosang naintindihan kung bakit kailangan mangyari sa atin yon. So, I mean, it would be nice siguro to travel back to that significant time in your life para mas maintindihan mo yung nangyaring yon. And the second, the book made readers think about how we treat people and the importance of closure. Kasi some of us, lalo na kapag nagkaroon tayo ng issue sa isang tao, lalo na kung significant other mo yon, minsan hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng closure. And mahirap dalhin yon kasi para siyang sugat na tinapalan lang ng band-aid, hindi ginamot, habang buhay mo siyang dadalhin. What I also liked about the book is that it highlighted how small actions or words can matter deeply in relationships. Like I said, sa story na ito, makikita natin ang iba't ibang klase ng pagmamahal, romantic, familial, at unconditional love, at kung paano ito humuhubog sa puso ng bawat character. So, ang hindi ko naman nagustuhan sa libro is that meron siyang repetitive structure. Gawa ng it's all about time travel. Paulit-ulit na pagdadaanan ng bawat karakter yung proseso na dapat pupunta sila sa cafe, iinom sila ng kape, tatravel sila dun sa significant time ng buhay nila na gusto nilang balikan, and kailangan makabalik sila bago lumamig yung kape. So, in a way, very predictable. Other than that, yung limited time travel rules. So, a few readers wish the time travel could allow more freedom instead of being strictly bound by the cafe's rule. So, di ba nga, hindi ka pwedeng umalis doon sa pwestong yon. Basically, kung ano lang yun na-experience mo dun sa moment na yun, yun lang. So, I guess you can ask questions na you've never asked before, pero basically, hanggang dun ka lang. So, in a way, it's very nakakabitin. For that, I would rate the book 4 stars. For I like its very unique take on time travel. Although the story did tug into my heartstrings, siguro medyo hindi lang ako masyadong nag-resonate sa story na ito. Kung akong tatanungin, I don't necessarily want to go back to a significant time in my life kasi I like to move on eh. I mean, I did have regrets, pero would I necessarily want to go back in time to see it again, to see that significant moment in my life again? Not really. I'm the type of person kasi who moves on and doesn't want to dwell too much in the past eh. But I do a lot of reflection naman para hindi ko pa rin makalimutan yung mga natutunan ko at naging pagkakamali ko. Pero how about you? Is there a significant moment in your life na gusto mong balikan? Comment down below. For a book that retails for 645 pesos, meron ka ng 4 na story about sa iba't ibang klaseng pag-ibig. Through its simple yet emotional stories, the book teaches us the value of love, forgiveness, and living fully in the present. At gaya nga nung napaka-famous line dun sa pelikulang Kung Fu Panda,
You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
today is a gift. That's why it's called a present. So there's no point in dwelling in the past or worrying too much in the future. Instead, mag-focus tayo dun sa ngayon para hindi tayo magsisi at hindi natin i-take for granted lahat ng mga importanteng nangyayari sa atin sa kasalukuyan. So for the final thoughts, ang sarap pala magbasa dahil itinuturo ito sa atin na harapin ang ating pagsisisi kahit gaano man ito kasakit. Ang sarap pala magbasa dahil ating natututunan na huwag ipagpaliban ang sasabihin dahil baka wala ng pagkakataon bukas. At ang sarap pala magbasa dahil ipinapaalala nito sa atin na mamuhay sa kasalukuyan. Dahil ang bawat sandali parang kape, hindi pwedeng palamigin. And that concludes today's episode. Sana nagustuhan nyo itong libro na may very unique take on love and time travel. Alam ko na malayo ito sa nakagisnan nating romance novel, yung mga talagang nakakakilig. But given na wala nga akong jowa, ito yung libro talaga na in a way nakaka-relate din ako eh. Kasi may iba't ibang anggulo siya patungkol sa pag-ibig. Para in a way, hindi lang yung magsing-irog yung makaka-relate, kundi lahat. Diba? Again, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss out on my latest book review. If you happen to know friends or even family members who love to read books, invite them to watch my show as well. For those of you listening on Spotify, just search for my show, Ang Sarap Pala Magbasa, hit the follow button, and join me in building a community of bookworms. Ako nga pala ulit si Tessa Saavedra. Samahan niyo ako ulit dito lang sa isang pahina, isang kwento, isang aral. Ang sarap pala magbasa. Shoo, 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 shoo.